Welcome to the Investing Podcast, presented by Tusk Media. Now, for your early morning look at financial news and activity in audio and video form, here's the Morning Market Mimosa.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Investing Podcast. This is the Morning Market Mimosa. As always, this podcast is brought to you by Tusk Media. Make ssure you hit subscribe, download, delete, re-download, do whatever you can to make us look popular. And the best thing you can do is leave us a 5-star review. Tell us how much you love the show. We're going to read 5-star reviews on the air no matter what you say. In fact, we're actually going to read some in a podcast that's going up tonight. It will be featured tonight into tomorrow morning. So check it out. Speaking of the day, today is Wednesday, June 8th, 2016. Really big day for us here at Narwhal for a couple reasons. Number one, the road in front of our office is going to be closed for a while. We've been seeing a sign blinking about it. They keep saying June 8th, June 8th, June 8th, road closure. Don't tell anybody, but I got here. Didn't stop me. Got right through there, no problems. Can't stop a champion. I'm too consistent to miss a podcast by having to walk to my office. So we got here. Other big thing of note is we are going to be out for some of the day, myself and Matt Burton, because we're going out of state to see a client and to get a download and a subscriber and a 5-star review from a client. But we are going to have this thing keep rolling because consistency doesn't sleep. So Austin Newsom, an intern for Narwhal Capital Management, is going to be taking the reins. He'll be back with the Stock Market Power Lunch and the Investing Happy Hour today. And again, today, we're going to have an episode of Outsider Trading for you later tonight. So make sure you hit subscribe to get that. Let's jump into the market, a little bit of pre-market news. Check out what's going on. Futures are up. We talked about the term greengasm earlier this week. We've got a full-on greengasm going on. Everything is up. Dow futures are up about 12 basis points. The S&P is up about 15 basis points. NASDAQ up about 9 basis points. Gold is up 2/3%. Oil continues to trickle up, which is really impressive because we celebrated like crazy yesterday when oil hit the $50 mark and closed there. Go back, watch that video. Follow us on Twitter at Tusk Media LLC to see a good gif of what happened. But Matt Burton, the firm's founder, even got in on the party when we hit that $50 mark. It's actually north of $51. So we're going to have to continue to one-up ourselves. We'll get creative. If it closes above 51, we may have to do an emergency podcast. We'll find out. But everything's up. Everything's pointing north, which is good news. Part of that is some of these headlines and some of these stories that we're about to talk about. Number one is the OECD. This is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, basically a big international organization that studies economies, studies important economic leading indicators, and basically has come out and said growth is stable globally. Growth is looking good. There were some doubts after March data, April data, and May data are looking positive. They go through and basically rank countries on a scale, and the scale basically says that a rate of 100 means you are growing at a normal rate. Above that means you're growing faster. Below that means you're slower. I guess you technically could be way, way, way slower and way, way, way faster. But the 100 is kind of that median point that you're looking at. The U.S. came in at 98.9, so a little bit warmer than your body temperature on average. So the U.S. is kind of right here. Slower than normal growth, which is not necessarily surprising if you look at GDP growth and things like that over the last couple of years. But the good news is that's really, really close to normal growth. So if the OECD is to believe, things are still looking stable for the United States on a growth trajectory, and they're looking pretty good globally. So that's good news. Over in Europe, the European Central Bank is starting their corporate bond purchase program. We've talked about this on some episodes that I think didn't even air when we were doing beta testing. But basically, they're going in and they're buying back corporate bonds. It's going to be interesting to see what the impact on that will be on fixed income even here domestically. So keep an eye out on that story as it develops. That program, again, it starts today. So keep an eye out on that. Other news somewhat unrelated to the market. It's official. Congratulations to Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Condolences to everybody that's going to have to watch them debate. But that's going to be the two major party representatives for the presidency. So that's all done. Hillary Clinton won out in California. Trump's had it pretty much locked up for a little bit. So it's official. Sorry, Bernie. It was a good run. Good luck with the millionaires, the billionaires. Somehow it didn't really pan out. Go figure. No, in all seriousness, it's going to be a developing story. We're going to have some experts come onto the podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on with these people in terms of taxation, in terms of trade deals, things like that, their stances on the economy, and we'll try to find out what the impact will be if either of these candidates is elected, and we'll kind of weigh some options and try to figure out what's going on there. We'll be back in a little bit. Austin Newsom will take over for the Stock Market Power Lunch and the Investing Happy Hour. As always, hit subscribe. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.